Hello guys and welcome to IAMABIKER. Well, this time, for the first time actually, we have ridden the Ultraviolette F77. It's our first electric motorcycle. We did not get a chance to ride the Revolt or the Torque yet, so totally new experience for me, for us. And we are here to talk about, well, how the experience was. I mean, you guys know all the features. I'm sure you've seen a ton of reviews already, but how is it in the real world? How does it feel on the track? And actually mostly how it feels in the real world, because that's what most of us, and that's where most of us are going to ride it.
So how did you feel like when you rode it for the first time? What was your mindset and what was it?
Okay, the first thing that happened when I sat on the bike, I wanted to push it a bit back. By default, I went and searched for the clutch.
No clutch.
I was like,
No clutch.
okay, but I thought it might be a problem in while riding it itself, but that is the only time. A lot of people have questions, and on Instagram, people are have asked us question, saying that, okay, mid corner, do you do something when you want to accelerate out and suddenly you're searching for clutch and gear? No, it doesn't happen. It's just 5 minutes and we were set with how we were riding the bike. Really good. I did not miss the gear, I did not miss the clutch. No problem.
So while the launch and all there, they were giving so much build up about the ballistic mode.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
Okay, so there are 3 riding modes. One is the glide,
combat.
the combat, and then there is the ballistic mode. So glide is basically the economy mode, and when you want maximum range, you want to squeeze
Just
every
glide.
and very slow, maybe stop and go traffic. That's less. And
City
then,
use.
the middle one, combat, gives you most of the thrills. I mean, relatively empty city roads, you can have a lot of fun. Everything is still there. But when you put into ballistic, the torque that you experience, see, off the line, probably it's not as surprising or as much different acceleration than you have probably experienced before, from 390s or things like that. But where you really are caught by surprise is you just taken a corner, road is just about to open up and you whack open the throttle, right? Point is when all this torque is instantly available, it's like whoa. It just goes off like that. And in ballistic, that is crazy, because you'll accelerate out of that corner so fast that, like, for example, when you're taking the tracking shot, so our usual vehicles, I know, okay, I give this much throttle, I'll reach there. By the time you guys exit the corner, I'll reach there, so I'll be right behind the camera. So when I time it like that, when I open the throttle, you guys will be still at the corner, I'll have reached behind you already. The timing is much faster. That instant acceleration is really good. I mean, that is something to really enjoy on this bike. And the 0 to 100 in ballistic mode is, with my weight, is under or close to 6 seconds, which is quite fast. This is quite fast, and in our roads that is immensely fast. The range, of course, does come down, and one update to the ballistic mode during the launch, during our test ride, which was not announced during the launch, is that you can use the ballistic mode for long now. Earlier you could use only 30, when the battery power is above 70%. Now you can use it up to 30% remaining.
Yeah.
So you have a huge range for the ballistic mode. Of course, ballistic mode, the range comes down, but from what we saw, in ballistic mode itself, you're getting close to 160 kilometers. Okay. So for your daily commute, you don't need to put anything else. Getting ballistic mode. That feel, that instant acceleration, the Ultraviolette guys have put in a lot of effort, and they've even marketed it very strongly as the sport bike, and you get that feel. It is a sports bike. It is not slow. It is really fast.
That's what I was about to ask you. Like, it's been showcased as a super bike among the electric bikes.
Yeah.
So, did you think that it met the expectations?
Yeah, it really does. And a lot of people, one thing which even during the ride, they came and asked us. Even a lot of people on the road came and asked us was, the bike looks big. And since it's electric and people have seen the pictures of the battery, battery unit, it's like it's heavy. It is actually heavy. So are you feeling that weight? But the good thing is that on Nandi Hills, our proving grounds, we have ridden so many bikes there. Right? I think almost every bike we have taken there, and for me, weight was never a problem. It is well balanced. The weight is kept in what do you say? It's got a low center of gravity. It feels really nice. Even the corner directions changes, like maybe in really slow changes of direction, maybe you feel that. But if you're riding your normal way, it's fine, and you don't really feel the weight anywhere. And maybe slow parking situations, or if it goes down in so parking situations, maybe that time you'll feel the weight, because that is true for any bike then. But then it's like even something like the Intercept or something, the moment it goes in parking or something, it goes beyond a certain angle, you feel that weight suddenly. Same thing. I mean, it's as good as any other bike.
So there is no traction control for this bike as of now.
Yeah.
So did you feel that it is necessary for ballistic mode, or?
For ballistic mode, yes. Because I told this to Neeraj and Narayan also, basically the founders, the creators of this machine. I told them as well, with ballistic mode, you need traction control. And they were like, I mean, it's already under development. For them, it is, the hardware is all there.
Just a software update.
It's just one, software update for them. So they're just fine tuning it. It's already there internally for them. They're just fine tuning it, and once customers buy the bikes, it should be out in a few months.
Better to have it anyway.
It's in ballistic mode, yes, because we were riding on a quite hot day. We had brand new MRF tires on it. These tires are not yet launched. MRF Steel, I believe.
Steel,
That's the name of the tires. They're not yet launched in the market. They were super sticky. They're really good. But imagine on a wet day, and you're still being enthusiastic with ballistic mode. I know you're opening up the throttle earlier.
Especially in a car.
As you said, while exiting or something.
You were opening up just to feel that power. If you don't have traction control, you're going to slide the rear for sure. It's much
with that weight.
It's very necessary, because in this bike you're so tempted to open that throttle much earlier than you normally would, so that you can feel that G forces or whatever. You're tempted every time to open it that microsecond earlier, so that you can feel naughty. That sort of a thing. But it's really good.
So how are the ergonomics? Like it's
okay. This is also one more feedback that I had given them, that I mean, probably we are older, and I told them why don't you guys make it a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more upright handlebars, because while riding fast it's fine, but the moment you hit city traffic and you have to go very slow between traffic, it's a sporty riding position, so you have weight coming onto your palms, especially when you're braking hard and all.
Very aggressive.
Even if you grab the tanks, it's not very aggressive, but it is aggressive. You leant forward, so when you hard brake, even if you're gripping the tanks and everything, that weight does come to you. Probably something to get used to as well, because we rode it for one day, right? Maybe if you rode it for a couple of days, we might get more comfortable with it. But a little more comfortable version of this would have been fine. And they were in fact telling that for the internal testing, couple of the test riders have put handlebar racers as well. So that it's easier to ride in the city. And also, see, they have this platform, they can do anything with it. They even have ideas of making something of an adventure-ish version of this as well.
That will be really good. With that amount of torque.
So they have that is a concept right now, even with internally, but this existing vehicle also, we've seen what they do off-road with it, right? I mean, we won't be able to do that. We will never do that also.
You can't do that with this bike now.
But they're confident, they're professional riders. So, they can definitely do that. It's a very capable platform by itself.
So, do you think that it will go for 300 kilometers? They say the range is 300 kilometers.
See, when you buy a phone, they're going to say it's going to last a whole day. Are we really expecting it to last a whole day? No, right?
That's what the real world perspective you wanted to know. They are while launch and all, they are saying it goes for like.
See, it depends on a lot of conditions. Okay, so the weight of the rider matters. Where you ride, if it's a place where you're having a lot of inclines, that time there's more load on the motor, so it's different for different situations. But realistically, I'm thinking, even with all those considered, at 260, 270 should be the norm for anybody
on glide mode.
In the combat mode.
Oh, great.
It should be fine.
If it's combat
about
mode,
250 for sure. Without any problem, because
250 on combat mode makes sense. I feel.
It makes sense, because see, ultimately it's about the load on the motor and the
yeah.
battery, right? So different conditions, different, and also depends on you. Keep hoping that all it's going to go down. It's not going to keep up. With
Okay, hearing that, how does it sound actually? How did it give you?
Okay, no, that's one place. See, for the rider, it sounds nice.
When you're riding it.
Yeah, it sounds nice for the rider. You know that electric whine, the motor whine is like. It's nice. But I think for outdoor, I mean, for people who are probably watching you, you are going like, and they're like just seeing like.
Actually, while shooting, even I liked it because I was shooting flybys and all when you were also shooting.
Yeah.
It was actually nice for to hear also. But
even whenever he was pushing it, the sound.
That's all.
Really
I wish it was a bit louder. It's a bit loud. So I was speaking to one of the other electric startups. Do you remember a brand called M-Flux? They had brought about a big blue bike electric bike.
Yes.
So I was speaking to one of those founders. He was curious about how this machine is. So I was telling him the same thing. I wish it sounded a bit more. Like for example, Aether is very loud.
Very loud.
Yeah.
And I was asking him. So he's like, see, right now this uses a chain. If they used a heavy duty belt, the sound would have been much better. But again, that changes the maintenance and cost and everything. But,
Obviously.
But yeah, so
the chain sound is also there. More than the motor sound, the chain sound
is
so,
also there.
So he said that is an option, but there are different decisions made during the production of a bike for certain. It might be cost, it might be for aesthetics, it might be just so that people don't think that's another complicated part. Don't change too many things, right?
Yeah.
So there are many things considering while making the bike, but yeah, I'm happy with the all the sounds it makes, especially while riding. But yeah, when you're slow, since it's an electric, there are no other sounds. Usually there's an engine exhaust sound masking all the sounds. But here suddenly you hear the disc, you hear the chain, especially when you're going very slow. I'm like dead slow and there are no vehicles around you. If there are some vehicles around you, you won't.
You will not never with the helmet on and all.
If it's just you and you're going like dead slow, like below 10 kph, you just will hear the disc sounds and all. So that is a bit. What do you say? It's not something we're expecting, right?
Yeah.
We are usually expecting a smooth ride, but actually in our own bikes, it's always there. Just that the engine noise and exhaust noise
it's covering it up. All that.
It might be more now, but yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, that's again small stuff.
So I was been shooting back to back now. Harsha should ask something. I think he has something.
So I was curious about the build quality of the this fibers and all.
Yeah.
Body. When I was pushing to do the shoots and all, I was hearing most of the sounds like plastic rattling sounds.
Yeah, maybe the front part, there's that fairing or the fairing on the cover, basically the battery. I mean, it covers the entire thing. I mean there is no what do you say? There is no other way, right?
But I'll tell you one thing.
You have to have a fairing to cover the battery up.
But I'll tell you one thing. So what he said is true, but that is on uneven surfaces. But on tarmac, nothing is there. Nothing is there.
I didn't feel any problem with build quality. It's pretty much at par. In fact, better than some of the OE manufacturers. I don't want to name them, but better than some of the OE manufacturers, who have many years of experience.
Because this bike is not meant to go on uneven surface. I feel like
it's a street bike, it's a road bike.
So on tarmac, it was smooth. I felt.
See, this is the first bike from a young startup.
Which is very impressive also.
So
Namma Bengaluru boys.
For a first product, it is excellent.
So how are the suspensions? Are they too soft, too hard?
No, it's relatable to something like on the Duke.
Oh, okay. It's for the handling purpose.
It's
more towards
if you have to give
side.
fed draw parallels, it is relatable to something on the Duke. It makes that sort of a setup. It's stiff, but can handle some bad roads.
You when you rode the bike, which bike do you want to compare it with, like a Duke 250 or a 390?
Well, I think it's in maybe something. The rush that you feel is probably closer to the 390. The ergonomics and the acceleration, everything is.
The RC 390 or the Duke 390?
Same, no.
But the sitting position, everything is different, no?
Yeah, I'm talking about the power and everything.
Okay.
the experience. Sitting position is not like committed like the RC or anything. It is
The new RC390.
No, it's still more better than the RC. But it is still sporty.
And what about the user interface and console? Is it friendly or it's a bit complicated?
It's very easy. Very easy to control.
Simple, very simple.
It took me like a minute to figure it out.
Because Aether and all, we know only this much it can do, but as the image has been thrown for this bike,
there are a lot of interesting settings that you can do within the, you can even change the levels of regenerative braking and all of those things. But there are a lot, and it's very easy to access. It is very simple. Maybe a touchscreen would have been interesting to maybe one
more
thing.
interesting or something.
To make it easy, but I don't think it is practical, man, with the weather and
while riding also you can. It's easy to access
just
from that.
while stopped and you can, but maybe just nitpicking. Something to say, right?
So what do you feel something can be better on that bike? If you feel something can be better, what should you say, or what will you say?
No, actually the price. Poor person.
Poor people's problem.
Poor people's problems. Not everybody's poor people's problem.
At 5 lakhs, I feel it is a bit expensive. But that said, the economics actually work in its favor. So you're spending 5 lakhs upfront. Only the upfront cost is quite high. But the running costs are almost like nothing compared.
They showed them in the presentation. Some yearly expense is very less.
Forget that. I did the calculation myself because we have been owning bikes for so long. How much we spend for service and fuel and everything. I did the math. By about the 4th year, you're pretty much breaking even. Or 3rd or 4th year, pretty much breaking even quite easily.
And there is a warranty. There's a warranty and an extended warranty.
There are multiple options.
5 years warranty and extended to 8 years.
With the amount of riding that we do and everything, by the 3rd, 4th year, we're pretty much breaking even. And then the way this makes more sense is in a way it recovers your money is faster after that. The question I asked one of the founders was that, usually our cell phones after the 2nd year of ownership, it starts off, when you buy a new phone or something, it starts off with a full day of charge and then you come back, then every 6 hours you need to charge and things like that. So does this drop like that? So what the founders and the creators of this machine were telling me is that the motor and the battery is actually capable of much more. Even with the many lakhs of kilometers testing they have done, what they have understood that over a period of 5 years, they're looking at a drop of around 1 to 2%. That's
really good.
That's it. That's great. That's like crazy. and there is no quick downhill also. It's not like after 5 years, like boom, it goes down. No. It's expected to last at this high levels, minimum of 8 years. Realistically, while they say warranty and all is for 5 years, they realistically, through their testing and their technology that's developed, they feel that minimum of 8 years, it's going to last.
And how about the charging time and all?
Honestly, I don't know the charging times. I don't remember it right now.
We didn't get time to see the charging time.
But there are two charging options. There are two types of chargers: the fast charger and there's normal charger. But all work out of 15 amps. So everything easy. Once if you have the setup at home, it's easy. Probably apartments, unless you have a different.
You just have to make sure that you have a socket. 15 amps.
That's it. It works fine, no problem. So guys, in summary, the Ultraviolette F77, we wrote the Recon version. There are two versions. One was the Ultraviolette original and the F77 original and the Recon version. Recon version is the full spec, spec'd out top end version, which has the 300 plus range and the entire power available. So my experience has been really good with it. It handles well. Don't be afraid by the weight in the specification sheet. It rides just fine. Probably a little bit sporty riding position for me. Maybe youngsters, 20-year-olds will find
maybe
it
even shorter riders.
It might be good. No problem.
Are you referring to me?
No. So build quality, first look and having spent a day with it seems fine. Obviously, we don't know how it will be 1 year later because it's too early to tell. But it looks fine. I mean, we have seen a lot of other bikes and and we sort of know, right, how it's going to last. So it looks fine, and the power and ride experience excellent. Put it into ballistic mode and ride safe and sane and ride responsibly, because
At least till you get the traction.
The control, yeah.
It gets some it takes you by surprise. I mean, it's that good. And then what else do you have? Color options. I think all of the color options look good.
Really
Yeah.
I really like the laser one.
Laser.
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 One airstrike is
Yeah, I like the airstrike better. It looks really good.
the classy look.
Yeah, and it looks really good in photographs.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
bad.
Laser one is definitely a head turner.
Yeah, and yeah, maybe small things. Maybe the console can boot up faster. The animations and everything. Small things. We haven't ridden in the night, so we don't know headlight and things like that.
Yeah.
I wish it was a bit more comfortable, but that's just me. I think these guys would have enjoyed it better. Yeah, and that's about it. So you guys, if you have any questions about the motorcycle, do let me know. I think we covered most of the experience part of it, and that said, if you have any questions, do let us know below, and we will immediately get back to you. One of the 3 monkeys you see over here.
Or you
Alright?
can message us in Instagram.
Yeah, that's the fastest way to get a response. You can message us on Instagram. We're all logged in and we're looking at bike photos. All right.
Yes, exactly. Bike photos.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you, and we'll see you in the next one.
Next one.
Bye.
Bye.